It says it's not.
No, that's okay.
Go.
All right, we are live. You know what? We're live, and yet I don't have my music playing. What is going on with this? We're on a Saturday edition here. We got Swamp Justice Radio on 97.7 FM WVFF, Veterans for Freedom Radio, the Truth and Broadcasting Corporation, and it is a special Saturday edition. Although this is probably going to air sometime next week. We're doing Mondays and Wednesdays now, but we're trying. Not trying. This Saturday's edition is a special edition because we're talking about Donnie Birchfield Jr. and we're going to talk about Donnie Birchfield Sr., his father. For those of you who don't know what that is all about, let me just try to give you the 50,000-foot view here. Donnie Birchfield Jr. is a man, I think he's 35 years old, from Lancaster, South Carolina. And he's facing some serious charges, including false imprisonment, aggravated domestic violence, financial fraud, and abuse of a vulnerable adult, including murder charge, because he's accused of keeping 4 vulnerable adults. This is what they said, vulnerable, but there's 2 really, but we'll get into that. And the victims are classified as vulnerable adults due to their physical and mental conditions that prevent them from caring or protecting themselves. So he's got felony charges. He's still in lockup in Lancaster County, and I think there's more charges coming. I'm not sure, but we're going to talk about that. And so Donnie Birchfield Sr., we've had these 2 women on before. These are the nieces of Donnie Birchfield Sr. He's a pastor down at Friendship Baptist Church in Lancaster. And they have a powerful message to say. Not only that, family history and everything that's going on. And there's more news I've been trying to think of it. It's Donnie's mother. So I guess we'll have them explain what it is. But Donnie Sr.'s mother, there's some things going on there we got to talk about. But I want to add to the stage Jennifer and LeeAnn. Welcome back. And thanks for coming on. Kind of short notice. We talked about this yesterday, but there was some new news. And without getting into too many details, I've had a lot of people contact me about this story, and not just this story, but your story, and that they didn't know about it. They were upset about it and want more information. And so we even had a request to say, hey, would you and Elaine from Super Woke News do and I said, this is Elaine, do a show about it. So we're going to talk about this. We'll spend the next whatever amount of time it takes, should be 45 minutes, maybe an hour, to talk about it. And so Donnie, just for everybody, Donnie Jr. is your cousin.
That's
correct. Okay. So your mother and Donnie Jr.'s father, Donnie Jr. Sr., excuse me, Donnie Sr.
We call them Big Donnie, Little Donnie. That's what we like.
There you go. All right. So Big Donnie and your mother are brother and sister.
Yes.
Okay. And then you guys grew up with them in and around the house. He got married at a very young age to his first wife, Monica, when she was at the age of 15. And we talked about in the last episode, if you want to just kind of give us a view of this, Jennifer, at the time, Donnie Sr., when he married Monica at 15, how old was he?
He was 18.
Okay, so he's 18. But he was dating her for a while.
Wow. Yes.
And during that time, you described assaults that happened to you personally from the age of 5 and a half, 6 years old to the age of 10, allegedly with Donnie, Big Donnie, let's call him that, right?
Yes.
And he was your uncle.
He was my uncle, yes.
How'd that all start?
That started when I was just barely 6 years old. I hadn't turned 6 yet. And it started when we were living with them after we came back from Alabama. when our parents split.
Okay.
And started innocently, you know, being a scared kid, and my uncle telling me I could sleep in his bed with him since I was scared and he would protect me. And it didn't start that night, it just progressed over time.
Grooming is
From
what you're describing.
just
Did you
it
talk
started.
about did you talk about this? You were afraid, right?
Never spoke about it. I did enough to make it stop. I spoke enough to stop it, but I didn't speak enough to put my story out there and push to have him, you know, arrested. He was arrested, but there was no evidence. There was nothing, and I wouldn't talk, so they couldn't put me on stand.
But
So
you
we
were
were
a
told.
little child. You were a little child then that doesn't even understand sexual abuse or any of this terminology. How could you possibly have been asked to explain it? You know, I was involved at the University of Washington with a lot of, we studied this very thing in the psych department at the UW. And little children, they don't have words at all. And they're
I
so
still
easily manipulated.
there are times where my emotions in trying to say how I feel or validate something, I totally will shut down. I won't talk it out. Even to this day, I will shut down. I go ghost on everybody. I will empathize for a little bit, but then I just have to shut down. And that's what I did then. I spoke enough to stop it, but then I shut down and I would just sit and stare at the floor when they would question me. Anyone, the DA, the cops, anybody. I had to go and be questioned. I remember that by a lot of different people. But it was the DA that said if she's not going to talk, we don't have a case.
I'm sure they didn't mean this, but that is a form of child abuse when they question children on this topic this way. Can I ask you? I know it's not relevant to what we're going to go forward with, but did you ever in your life find a credible source to talk about it, or a safe place to talk about it? Did you ever find the right counselor?
Not till now. Now, I've been to therapists, I've been to psychiatrists ever since I was 12. And I will talk about other abuse that I've been through. I will tell you how crazy and messed up I am, but I've never mentioned this abuse. The counselor I see now, I started seeing her a month before this story broke. And I told her I was messed up. She was going to have fun trying to figure me out. And then this story broke, and I went to her and I said, I know why therapy don't work. I have said it many a times. I've tried the pills, I've tried the counseling, I've been hospitalized. None of this stuff helps me.
Right.
Y'all can't fix me. But when this story broke and I realized this is the story I don't tell, this is why therapy don't work, because I don't talk about this. So I started talking about it with LeeAnn, and I started talking about it with my counselor. And after that, I just said, you know what? This has to stop. And I opened up and I started talking about it to everybody. My mama
Good.
passed years ago. If she hadn't passed, I probably still wouldn't be talking about it, because my mama was still a Birchfield by blood. She could talk about her family, but her kids couldn't, or she would disown us.
Wow.
She has went months and not spoken to us because we said something bad about her brother or her mama or her sister-in-law. She always, even on her deathbed, said she wasn't going to pick them over her kids anymore. We couldn't be all together at one time because it was a tense, forced feeling. My mama could hang out with her family and have a good time, or she could hang out with her kids and have a good time. But together, there was tension. They did not like her children whatsoever.
Who's they when you say they?
You were
Grandma, aunts, uncles, none of
Okay.
them liked the four of us.
My
Okay,
mama
so
moved to Alabama and married our daddy to get out of the abuse she suffered in the household. But that didn't last, so she came home. But she came home with 4 children.
and there's 2 of you. Where are you in the pecking order, as they say?
I'm
Jennifer's
the
the
old.
oldest. Yeah,
You
it's
have
Jennifer, then we have one between me and Jennifer, and then we have a youngest.
Were there any other siblings abused by Big Donnie?
Just me.
no, that's you.
You know that
Go
your
ahead.
story is very typical. It's so sad that you went so many years of your life without getting proper care, and even adults that had a clue. It's almost barbaric how they treated you for such a huge part of your life. And it's very, very typical. That's the only reason I went down this road for just a minute, because we have to get back to the story. But why your story is so important to millions and millions of women out there is that they're in the same situation. And so
Yes,
your voice is really important.
it's a pattern because
Very much.
as a child, we heard these stories and we knew these stories, but you didn't put 2 and 2 together. As adults, we put 2 and 2 together.
Mhm.
Our grandma was only 15 herself when our grandfather brought her home to live with him, his wife, and his 2 kids. My grandfather was in his 30s. He was married and he had 2 kids already. He picked my grandma up at 15 and brought her home. He was dishonorably discharged from the military for living with 2 women as wives. He did prison time and he married my grandma while he was in prison and after he had done had my mama and one of my uncles.
Wow.
So, and then Big Donnie had me, but then he had Monica at 15. Little Donnie brought Brittany in when she was 14 and he was 25. So you see the pattern?
Yeah.
They're
So for those at home, Brittany, who Jennifer is referring to, Brittany is one of the people that was living at the Birchfield's house. And when I say Birchfield's house, for everybody, this is Donnie Birchfield Sr., Big Donnie, and his wife, Wynette, and their 3 children, one of which is not living there anymore. His name is Grady. But so we had Gracie, and then we have Donnie Jr. or Little Donnie. So Brittany came there at the age of 14, and Donnie was 25. He's 35 now. So she lived there for 10 years.
and she
What's a
was his
14-year-old? What's a 14-year-old doing with a 25-year-old? And what is Big Donnie doing, allowing that as a preacher? I don't know if he was a preacher then, but I don't
was
have to look too. Huh?
I'm sure when he became a preacher.
He
I
was
just
a
know
preacher then.
I just know when my mama told me he was a preacher, I laughed, but then I kept that to myself because again, if I'd said something to my mama, it would have been a fight and I wouldn't have been able to talk to her for months.
Right. And then there was another for Donnie Jr., Little Donnie. There was another female that came into the house, and she came into the house
It's when
when he
she
was
came in.
17, right?
Yes.
She's been charged as well.
Yes.
Brittany has not been charged as of yet.
And I think
Fine.
Brittany should be charged. I think both them females, I do not think they are victims. I think they were involved in this just as much as Donnie.
Okay, so let's get into that because Donnie Birchfield, and I'm looking at his arrest warrants. Trying to see a date on these things. It was this summer when Shirley Arnsdorf died in their home, taken out of the basement. She weighed 65 pounds. She was one of the vulnerable adults. And her husband, what was her husband's name?
Alvin.
Alvin, that's right. Alvin Arnsdorf is still alive and is recovering. Had to go to the hospital for some time, but the charges are many. And I'm trying to just find it here on the warrant. We have financial identity fraud, or identity fraud is one of them. Exploitation of a vulnerable adult. There's one charge. There's another charge for exploitation of a vulnerable adult. Here comes another vulnerable adult. And I'm up to 3 now. There's another charge for that. There's another charge for financial fraud or identity fraud. Again, financial transaction card theft. So they're alleging that he stole their credit card and used it to buy certain things. There's another one for financial credit card theft. False imprisonment. He kept them in the basement and wouldn't allow them to leave. Again, Big Donnie, preacher Big Donnie's living upstairs with his wife, Juanette, with their Facebook page, Birchfield Bargains, selling things online, living in the house with Gracie's living in the house still.
Yeah.
Yes.
Here comes domestic violence of a high aggravated nature. We're starting to get illegal here. Imprisonment, false imprisonment. Again, there's another domestic violence, false nature, false imprisonment. I mean, they just keep going. Another false imprisonment, abuse of a vulnerable adult, and murder. That's a lot. So describe, if you guys can, and either one of you can go, of when this news broke of your cousin and your uncle's son getting arrested for murder. That had to send your phone into a tizzy.
Well, my
was a shock.
little sister, the littlest, the youngest, she's the one that called. She was friends with Juanette on Facebook and Gracie. I've never been friends with any of them on Facebook because that's a part of my family I don't want nothing to do with. And she called and she said, "Are you sitting down?" I said, "Why do I need to be sitting down?" And she said, "Are you sitting down?" I said, "Yeah, okay, I'm sitting down. What's going on?" And she told me. And I told her, I said, "Well, Angie, I'm kind of shocked, but I'm also kind of not shocked. Look at who we're talking about. We're talking about Big Donnie's kid. I mean, it's shocking, but it's also not shocking."
I kept
Jennifer.
saying it's wrong. It's wrong. He didn't do this. Back to him. He did not do this. But when I heard the circumstances, the preliminary hearing is what really got me, hearing details. Those details made me go, yes, I believe this, because I see the patterns. I'm hearing things he did to Shirley that I've seen grown men do to their wives in front of us kids when we were little, and they thought it was entertainment. It was fun to torture their wives and laugh about it. My mama would cry her eyes out because her brother did something and he thought it was funny. And we really thought our mama was crazy. She's bipolar. Mama, they didn't mean to make you cry. It was fun. No, it wasn't. If you actually saw it, you would know this wasn't normal. This is not normal behavior. This is not how you treat people for fun. And they thought it was fun. Hearing the things that little Donnie did, then yes, I believe that, because I believe that is stuff that just like we watched growing up, he watched it too.
Now, when it comes to financial issues, we touched on this before we came on. It goes back to Big Donnie in 2010, June of 2010, September of 2010. There was, a woman, I forgot her name now, but there was a woman in Lancaster County that sued him in civil court twice. And then there's a judgment in 2009. So the year before, it's a foreclosure. So that's when they got foreclosed on their house. You know anything about that? What was that?
Family rumors that I can't verify, but family rumors were he worked at some check cashing places when he first moved to South Carolina. I think you'll find some charges coming from Myrtle Beach too,
Mhm.
over in Horry County, that I have already seen brought out. Back when this story broke, some other people were looking them up and found these charges. He was working at those check cashing places and skimming money off the top from people and from the businesses. So he was in trouble for some of that. And it put a financial strain on them because they were sued for that money.
Yeah, I'm looking here, and I just looked it up in Horry County. Breach of trust with fraudulent intent, value more than $1,000 but less than $5,000. That was November of 2011. So
So Junior's financial charges, little Donnie's that he has right now, you don't just know how to do stuff like that. You learn that behavior from somewhere. I've been a manager at a gas station in Maggie Valley for 7, 8 years. I've had credit cards left at my store. I've had, I've been in the position where I could do stuff like that. But you
yeah,
choose not to do that. He saw it, he learned it, he was conditioned that way. But he
and
chose to carry on.
Junior, right? And Junior's never lived away from his parents, right? He's 35 years old.
Never. He's always been dependent on them.
Most he lives away from them was when he was traveling.
Did he have a job?
No.
Never. He helped out people like his daddy at the funeral home for a little bit of cash here and there. But a legal, legit he's never had. No.
Yeah. Didn't you tell me that Big Donnie took Little Donnie to go collect bodies when he was a teenager?
Yep.
Yes.
And I'm not talking a 19 or 18-year-old. I'm talking 13, 12, 13.
Yep.
Yes.
After we did that, I asked my daughter, I'm like, and she wants to get into she's graduated, she wants to get in, she's going to nursing school, and she works, in these assisted livings. And I asked her, have you ever seen a dead body? She had to think about it. And I'm just thinking to myself, I've seen a few, family members and whatnot, but it's always moving experience because it's a person. It was a person. So a 13-year-old, how do they wrap their head around that?
And I don't think little Donnie has ever understood death, because when his mama first died, he kept saying, but she's coming back. She's not gone. She's coming back, because he was told so many times that our granny and our papa was dead. And then they would bring him around to see him again when they would quit being mad at him. So to him, he thought that, okay, you're saying she's dead, but you said these people were dead. So if I seen them again, I'll see her again.
Were they happening? Is that just a story? Are they talking about you're going to see him again in heaven, or what?
No. They would get pissed off at our grandma and our grandpa because they wouldn't give them money, and they would quit going around them. So when little Donnie would ask to see Granny and Papa, they would say, "Oh, they're dead. You can't see them." Then when the fight would end, they'd come around again. So in little Donnie's head, well, these people were dead, and now they're alive. So my mama's going to come back like they did.
What a mind game for a child.
And when he would say that to me after his mama died, I was like, I don't know how to explain to this poor kid that mama's not coming back. She's really dead.
That's the thing inside our family. It's always mind games with the vulnerable, the elderly, and the children. Those are the three that are the most preyable in this family.
Yep.
We're going to talk about his Donnie. I guess this is his mother would be what to you?
Our aunt.
No, Donnie Sr.'s mama is
Granny.
Granny.
I thought you meant little Donnie's mom.
Before we get into Granny, let's talk about Frank Evans real quick. And we talked about this in our other episode. So for those at home, if you want, you can just go look it up. But so Frank Evans was a man that owned a famous restaurant down in Lancaster County. or the city of Lancaster, I'm not sure. And beloved man that went down, that lived down there, and he died of natural causes. But before he died of natural causes, he put Wynette in charge of his estate as far as power of attorney. Her and Donnie Sr. And this is, I think, when he started going to the Friendship Baptist Church. His wife had passed a few years earlier, and then Frank passes. Frank, I'm still trying to figure this out, guys. So maybe just help me with the one son, and you got Brian, his heir, who's in prison for murder. He's in South Carolina prison for murder, and then there is another son. But somebody's told me, I think he was adopted, and I'm not sure about that. But and the only reason I say that is because in the will and last will and testament of Frank Evans, it's the one son that is heir to the estate.
Now, I don't know anything about Wynette's family or Wynette, actually. Donnie
This was Wynette's uncle, by the way.
Big Donnie was close to the family while he was still married to Monica. When he moved off to South Carolina with Wynette, that's been a whole separate family. He's acted like nobody here in North Carolina exists. Even his own mama wasn't allowed to come and visit unless he told her that she could. My mama and my stepdad, who they were like this, every time you saw Donnie and Monica, you saw my parents. They weren't allowed at Donnie and Wynette's unless he told them they could be. He acts like he has no family in North Carolina at all.
Well,
I see in Frank's obituary, they don't even mention a second son. They mention the first son, they mention special nieces and Wynette and her husband Donnie and their children, and they mention the full children's names. Yeah, Donnie Birchfield's mentioned in that. Junior is mentioned in that.
right. In Dorothy, his wife, Frank's wife, in her obituary, there's two sons. It's survived by her husband, Frank Evans, two sons, Franklin Dale Evans Jr. That's the one I'm not sure about if he was actually a blood son, biological son for these two or not. But Brian Franklin Evans, the younger one,
You would think he's a biological son, because you don't normally name adopted children juniors
right
after the father.
Right. I don't know. What I can tell you is that at the what I've seen of the last will and testament of him, Franklin Jr. is not on it. So, and I've spoken to his the other brother, Brian. I've spoken to his I don't want to say power of attorney, but his personal representative, because he's imprisoned. He's set to be released, I think, in about 16 years if he gets parole. But he was left the majority of the estate, which was a house, some cash, some stocks, some vehicles. But the vehicles still, as I understand, still parked over at the Birchfield's house. The house has been sold. All these things have been sold. Wynette is now the executor or someone in charge of it. She got paid, I think, $1,000. Donnie Sr. got paid $1,000, and a couple other people got $500. And the rest of it is to be converted into a trust for Brian Evans. That, as I understand, has not been done. And when Brian wants money in prison for like his canteen, he has to call Wynette, or however he gets a hold of Wynette, and then she approves whatever and puts money on his canteen, even though the money's his. Same thing I've heard about Franklin. So this one I'm still digging into. But if there's something you guys know,
the only thing I know on it is our stepdad Lee has always said how she's got a cousin that's in prison for murder. That's the only thing I know of it. He's talked about Frank. I guess he knew about Frank, or he may have actually physically knew Frank. Like, I don't know. But I've never heard the other one mentioned. I've only heard the cousin that's in prison.
So now that takes us to your granny. What's going on with Granny?
They're worried about Granny. Donnie is the one that takes care of her. Like pays her phone bill, stuff like that.
Big Donnie.
But she lives in Gaston County, North Carolina. So he does it, from South Carolina. She has called him repeatedly for months and asked him to please come get her, let her spend time with him. She used to just drive down there, but she don't drive anymore. She's got to where she doesn't get around much. She has dementia. He's trying to shield her from what's going on. He's told her that Alvin is the one in jail because Alvin killed Shirley. Little Donnie is on the road working. She's excited right now, waiting on little Donnie to get home from his trip working so that she can spend time with her grandson. I actually got to spend time on the phone before he blocked me yesterday, telling my grandma, little Donnie's not coming home. You know he's in jail, right? No, he's not. I said, yes, Granny, he is. He's in a lot of trouble. Donnie took her phone and hung up on me. And then he blocked me, so I can't call her.
And go ahead.
Any other time, we wouldn't worry about our grandma being there. That's her son. She loves him to death. But with the stories coming out about Frank and some of these other vulnerable adults, that now makes me worried about, yeah, that's your mama. But blood don't mean anything. We know this. Blood doesn't stop you from getting hurt by these people because they've done it to blood before. It's not just outsiders. I honestly believe that he would hurt his mama if it came down to her finding out the truth.
Did she have any sort of estate to rub two nickels together?
Nothing he could take. No. He's
got money in the bank. I mean, she's always been frugal, so she's got money in the bank.
Got it.
She'll eat a can of green beans for supper just because she don't want to spend money on food. She'll just pop open a can of green beans and eat it straight out the can because she don't want to spend money.
Right.
But
where is she?
Not like he's going to get. I mean, she lives in. It's not assisted living, but it is an independent living home apartments for seniors. To where they have the call button for emergencies if something were to happen, but they still can do their daily activities, come and go. So it's not like a nursing home.
Where is she now?
She's at his house right now as of yesterday. Now, I can't call and LeeAnn can't call, but I have people calling to check on her. And as long as you don't mention what's going on, you can talk to her. But once you mention anything, Donnie shuts it down and takes her phone.
I posted this last night. People were like, please tell me she's not living in that basement. I said, I don't know where she is. I don't know.
And it wouldn't surprise me for
no.
Huh?
He thinks she's a liability. He will get rid of her. Even if it's to hide her in a skilled nursing home so that we can't find her.
So there was an incident, right? She had to go to the hospital a week or two ago.
She had to go. I got one afternoon that said a neighbor of hers had found her wandering around and didn't know where she was, had no clue who she was. They got her phone, found Big Donnie's number, called him. He called his other brother and said, take care of her. Whatever you got to do, I'm not coming. They took her over to the hospital. They released her. She needed a ride home and nobody went and got her. The ambulance had to take her back home. Nobody would go get that woman.
Now, just for reference to people, Lancaster County, city of Lancaster to Gaston. Where in Gaston County?
Dallas.
North Carolina.
Are you talking an hour and a half?
About an hour and a half.
So mother has to take an ambulance ride home. I'm not coming to get her.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. She told me when I talked to her a couple weeks ago, she said nobody comes with visits. She's got a grandson that'll bring her food over and drop it off to her, him and his girlfriend.
Yeah.
but family don't come and visit. Ever since my mama died, she just basically sits there hoping somebody will visit or call her.
Why doesn't anybody visit? Do you know?
I live 2 hours away. I'm in Western North Carolina.
No, why
I did
doesn't Donnie
visit
Sr.?
Now, I don't know about her kids. I don't know why they won't visit her. I mean, she's the matriarch of the family that has kept and hidden all of their secrets. She's been on dates with Donnie and his girlfriends when he was married to Monica. She's been on dates
Wait,
with
what?
my other and his
What?
girlfriend.
Back it up.
Yes.
Back it up. Back it up.
Yes.
What did you just say? Donnie's?
She's been on dates with Donnie, with his girlfriends, when he was still married to Monica. She's been on vacations with Donnie and his girlfriends while he was still married to Monica. And Monica and little Donnie was out with LeeAnn and my mama trying to find Big Donnie.
Yep.
How's
So
this guy
these are,
getting all these women?
I'm sorry.
I said, listen, I've seen pictures of him. How the hell is this guy getting all these women?
Jan.
I'm
You
sorry.
tell me and we'll both know.
And
Right? See,
he's
Leanne knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
things. He became the ladies' man when he was married and had that ring on.
Granny
But Granny
went
has
on
covered
dates.
for her family. And now that she's older and she's vulnerable and she needs help, they don't want to help her. She's too much of an inconvenience.
I'm trying to picture what part Granny played in the
There's
is
a
it
popular barbecue spot in Gaston County, and he dated a waitress there once. My grandma had pictures of that girl and had been there to eat with him and the girlfriend. There was a preacher's daughter that we grew up with that he dated inside the church with Monica in the church, there in the church. And he was dating the preacher's daughter, who also was a married woman. That come to blow at the church when Monica threw a Bible at the other woman's head.
Wait a minute.
But my friend,
What did she throw?
a Bible.
can't make this up, can you?
No.
And we're talking about right now, we're talking about Pastor Donnie Ray Birchfield Sr., pastor of Friendship Baptist Church. These are the stories we're talking about, right?
Yep.
He wasn't pastor back then, but yeah.
This was a Baptist church that we grew up in out in Lincoln County, North Carolina. And Donnie had got up and walked out first, like he was going to the bathroom. The preacher's daughter gets up and walks out behind him. Then Monica gets up and walks out behind them. Then the preacher, Reverend Wayne Hart, he's passed now. He stopped church to go outside so we could find out what's going on. And yeah, Monica decided to confront them, and she threw a Bible at the woman's head. But the thing is, my grandma knew about that, and so did my grandpa, because they went on vacation to the mountains here with that other woman, while Monica and little Donnie stayed at home.
Again,
When
for
we
those
got this other woman, because we grew up with her, we had to call her by a different name, so Monica didn't know who we was talking about.
oh my Lord. Monica, by the way, is 27 years old. She's passed away. She was the first wife of Donnie Sr. She allegedly passed away. Well, we don't know what she passed away of. Gaston County didn't do much of a good job with that one. Supposedly, she had sleep apnea or she had some sort of lodgings. I always forget how to pronounce this thing. A cough drop in her throat where she coughed and died on. I tried getting the 911 call. It's 25 years ago. They said they keep them for 1 year. So the 911 call, unless somebody else has it in the family that you know of, I can't get a hold of it. It's not available.
Never heard about it.
Jennifer, so do you have thoughts about how Monica might have really died? I mean,
We all
Yes.
do.
And
What?
if I can say it, I honestly think Monica may have found out about abuse to little Donnie by Big Donnie. She never liked me. I used to beat her sister up when we were kids, but also my lie that was told, that was deemed my lie, she never liked me. Other girlfriends of his didn't mind if I tagged along because I always tagged along. Wherever he went, I went too. She didn't like that when they were dating. Then when my story came out and it was a lie, she really didn't like me. But as years progressed that she was married to him, she started to come around to me, even though I wasn't around much because I tried to stay away. When we were together, it wasn't so tense with me and her anymore. I think she started seeing things, not just the cheat. Like I explained to little Donnie when I wrote to him, your mama knew about every woman he had been with. I don't think cheating is what the problem was. I think she found out because little Donnie was her baby and you didn't mess with him. She came from a bad family herself, and that family is all she wanted. And she doted on little Donnie. That was her baby.
Your
And
sister, go ahead. Sorry.
I think she found out something that got her killed.
Yeah, you have another sister, and she messaged me. This is what she wrote in her message to me. She says, "I have always believed Donnie, talking about Big Donnie, did something to her because Monica had found a picture of her, Wynette, in a brown envelope that Donnie had hidden." And she goes
He
on to
always
say, I spent all night with them at the High Shoals playground that night, and it just felt weird. You could tell they were arguing. So your sister was with them the night she died, and she says that Monica found, whoop, what happened to her?
We lost her.
She'll come back. Whoop. We lost her. Oh, that's okay. She's got bad cell service sometimes. I was trying to think what happened here. Okay. So your sister said that she was with them that night, and Monica found the picture of Donnie and Wynette together.
Yes. And like I'm saying, they argued all the time, and because of the girlfriends, Monica would chase and get someone to take her and try to find him when he was out the other way. So I don't think that's what happened. I think she found out about abuse.
And Monica was becoming more independent before she died. She didn't
Yes.
have a driver's license until maybe a couple years before passed away. Sorry, before she passed away, she got her driver's license a couple years before that. So I think he's seen the independence that she was also getting, and I also do believe that he was doing something to little Donnie, and she found out because that kid was almost 10 years old and couldn't wipe his own butt.
He was 10.
I've heard the same thing about Grady and Gracie,
Yep.
that they were wearing
Pull-ups.
pull-ups in there.
And if that's
And
a lie, that comes straight from our mama. She said, I don't understand why these kids are teenagers and still in pull-ups.
And that would explain why Donnie Jr. was 10, couldn't wipe his own tail. We thought that was just he's been coddled too much. He's been babied too much. No, that's not. No.
Any parent who's raised children, I mean, you throw a party the day they get out of the pull-ups, right?
Oh, yes. The day they're going to that bathroom on their own, I actually threw my son a potty-trained party when he trained.
Yeah. There was a little doll. God, I can't remember the name of it, but we told my daughter, Polly Pockets. That's what it was. Polly Pockets. If she could, big girl, go to the bathroom like a big girl, she got Polly Pockets, and it was like that.
Yeah.
We were like,
my grandson, and he can wipe his own tail. Now, when he first potty training, and he'd holler, Granny, I need you. Boy, you're going to have to learn how to do this yourself because I'm not going to keep wiping your tail.
Right. Your tail. That's funny. So
I'm
what?
not
So let's get back to Big Donnie. He went off on a tirade with somebody. Jennifer, he hung up on you, right? So he hung up on you.
He won't talk to me the way he talked to her. I wish he would, but he won't. All he did was tell me not to call my grandma no more because he pays the bill.
Huh. What did he say? Was he nice on the phone with you? Was he yelling at you? Was he?
But he didn't yell and he didn't scream at me. All he said was he paid the bill and I can't call no more.
Yeah.
But I was on, like I said, I was on speakerphone with LeeAnn on her phone, and she was on speakerphone with Donnie on her husband's phone. And I heard the way he was going off on her. And I said, I wish he'd talk to me like that. I'm the one. I want him to talk to me like that.
Well, LeeAnn, how did he talk to you?
Well, I called. I was nice. I said, why is Jennifer not allowed to call Granny anymore? And he started going off. I pay this phone bill and I can say who calls this phone and don't call this phone. And I was tempted to be like, do you want me to send you some money for that phone bill? I mean, it seems like a big deal that you're having to pay her phone bill if you're bringing it up. And I mean, I pay my kids' phone bills right now, or one of my kids' phone bills right now. And I don't go grab his phone and say, I pay this phone bill. You can't call him. But,
was he swearing at you?
Yes. He called me a backwoods inbred. Had words that came after that. And I mean, we could go into why he called me a backwoods inbred, but I guess I'll just leave that alone for right now.
Any of those start any of those other words start with the letter F?
Oh yeah, he was. But then he's cussing and then he's telling me I'm recording this phone conversation or this phone conversation.
I wonder if he's going to play that phone conversation at church this Sunday.
Right.
She told him about what he said about the church.
Oh, he's got a special place at his church for me. And I'm like, I'm like, you got a special place at your church for me? Like, what does that even mean? And my little sister asked me last night on the phone. She said, does he have a basement at that church?
I was just going to say the same thing. What did
I
you?
don't know.
She's told you might want to come to church Sunday. He said, go ahead. I got a special place for you there.
I wonder if I should go to church there and see if he's got a special place for me.
If I didn't live almost 3 hours away, I would have already been.
I actually sent a message to Donnie Sr. last night. I have not received a response back. Elaine knows how I am. I was like, I'll call anybody. I said, hi, Donnie. This is James Seidel with Crime and Cask, Swamp Justice Radio. I'm reaching out to you, invite you to come to my podcast or speak directly to on the record about the allegations that have been made involving you and Donnie Jr., including claims raised by your nieces, Jennifer and LeeAnn, and their concerns surrounding the Frank Evans estate. My goal is to give you a fair opportunity, and it truly is. I will give him a fair opportunity to respond in his own words. If you're willing to participate or you would like to discuss parameters first, please let me know. You can call or text me back any time. I have not heard back from him, but I'll put this out here again. I am not looking to impale him. If he wants to come on, I will have him on. Elaine and I will talk to him and give him a fair opportunity to say his side of the story, whatever his side of the story is. We don't know yet, but he's not responded.
No chance of getting him on the podcast without me. It's me he won't interact with. And in my experience with the pedophilia abuse, any type of that, because I've confronted this before, in abuse situations. These people can tell you, no, I didn't do that. No, that's a lie. But their victim can look them in the eye and confront them. They won't confirm. They won't deny. They will shut up and walk away. Because they can't deny when it's the victim that's confronting them. They won't confirm it, but they can't deny it either. So he can get on the podcast with y'all and he can deny every bit of this. But you put him on with me, and he's not going to. He's just going to sit there. He's not going to show up at all. I've confronted this with somebody else before. I've made my peace with that. But I confronted it, and when I did, that person did admit to abuse, but they did not admit to the SA abuse. They turned and they walked away from me when that came up.
Yeah.
But as far as beatings and control and other types of abuse, yeah, I did that. Yes, I did that. But when you bring up that SA, they run. They can't be confronted by their victim when it comes to that. But I'm gonna have my day. I'm gonna have my day. I'm gonna come face to face with him.
Do you know when the next court date is?
I don't. I've been trying to find out.
I've looked. It's not on the public index yet, but he'll be there.
Yes.
And
and we plan on being there too. Just
plan on
if you're
being there.
watching Donnie, just know we're gonna be there too.
Yeah, I'll be there right there with you.
Yep.
If I had pushed harder, little Donnie wouldn't have been born. But Shirley wouldn't be dead either. I hate to say that little Donnie should have never been born, but he shouldn't have, because I should have pushed to make sure Senior didn't come back out of that jail when he went in. I love my cousin. I'm sorry he did what he did, but he shouldn't have been born, because Donnie Sr. should have paid in the 80s for what he did. I can't go back and fix that now. I can't bring Shirley back, and I can't fix this, but I will not shut up until the rest of this that we know is going on without knowing for sure that it's going on stops in this family.
What would be your message to his congregation if you had one?
To his congregation, the Bible warns us that wolves come in sheep's clothing, that there will be false prophets. Not everybody that preachers should be a preacher. You have to trust in God, not the man behind the pulpit. Because again, the man behind the pulpit is not God. He is just human, and he's going to fall. He's going to make mistakes, and he's going to be wrong. Don't put your eyes on him. If you truly believe in his innocence, that makes me wonder about your own character. Because you can talk to that man for 10 minutes and know that there's something wrong with him.
And
Everybody
he's a
has said that.
pastor. He's a pastor. Like, according to the Bible, isn't family supposed to be like number one, and you're supposed to love each other and honor each other and all this? So why would he treat nieces this way? Why was it such a problem for me to call you and ask you why someone's not allowed to call our grandma's phone? Why did that set you off? Why did you go off on me? I didn't say anything out of the way. The only thing I said is, why is Jennifer not allowed to call Granny?
We're talking January 16th, 2026. We're not talking about 10, 15, 20 years ago. This was yesterday.
No. Yes. Yes.
And I didn't say anything out of the way other than, are you okay, Granny? I heard they trying to put you away. And when I said that, that was the end of it. I wasn't allowed to call no more.
And I know I shouldn't let what he said to me bother me, but we was on our way back from the mountains, a good hour and a half away from home still, and I'm sitting in the passenger seat bawling my eyes out because of the stuff he said.
Wow.
Yep. Let it get to me too. I was the same way, and he didn't even really say much to me. And it got to me yesterday.
Those feelings are coming back up because maybe you fear something that's going to happen to Granny.
Yes. And like I'm saying, I was not her favorite person growing up. Not at all. Because of what I told. I was not her favorite person. But at the same time, that's still my grandma. And she's at the age of vulnerability. And it worries me. I don't want anything to happen to anybody else, no matter who they are.
Right. Wow. Huh, Elaine?
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. So we'll keep on this. I'll find out. I want to find out more about Franklin Jr. because he's definitely not in the will. I can tell you that for a fact. I've seen the will. He's not in the will. And I need to see about getting a financial accounting for the personal representative for Brian. We're going to try to find out and track and see where Granny is and going to. And if you can keep us on top of that, and then we're going to find out what's going on with his trial. I know that the last time he was in court, it was in front of a magistrate judge. We call him that here in South Carolina. And she basically looked at the evidence and said there was enough evidence here. We're going to move forward with a trial. But
been told some things by the detective, but not sure if I can divulge that.
well, if you're not sure, then that's fine. Then you can keep that because it's it's an ongoing investigation, so you don't have to say it here. We respect that. They need to work, and sometimes they need to work and where no one sees what they're doing.
Yes.
But it sounds like he's being respectful and he's keeping family informed of what's going on.
Yes.
So that's good. As I understand it, not from you guys, but just from the street, let's call it, I think there's more arrests coming. To whom?
Yeah.
I have no idea whom it's going to be,
Yeah.
but I have heard more arrests are coming.
There are more as well, and as well, I don't know who they're going to be. I'm pretty sure Donnie Sr. is going to be one of them, but I don't know who the rest will be. Me and LeeAnn's both fearing for what's about to come because it goes so deep that there may be a few that we hate to see go down. But if they've been involved, and we think they may have, it's a domino effect. And I think it's about to disrupt our whole entire family on all sides.
Yes. And secrets are going to come out that even though I suspected, I don't think I want to know.
Yeah, she's got issues that we're not going to bring up, but it may involve some stuff with her as well.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. So we'll stay tuned to this because this is every time we get on here, and it seems a couple of days go by, new information comes out, people come forward. I have had so many people from Lancaster reach out to me, people who are ex-members of the church. I haven't had any current members of the church. I understand that there's a lot of people leaving that church, Friendship Baptist Church. I don't know if that's true or not.
I'm getting friends requests from people that are friends with LeeAnn and Donnie.
Yeah.
And I'll keep you updated if Donnie ever responds back to me. Should we call him right now?
Let's do it. I mean, I got his phone number. I haven't called him from my actual cell phone yet.
No, I won't do that to him. That's putting him on the spot. What?
He's blocking us.
Oh, he's blocking. He might be blocking me too. I don't know. If he didn't know my number yesterday, but he knows it now.
I bet it's blocked.
But yeah, I won't do that to him, even though
reached out a few times to him since this case broke on Facebook. He'll read my messages, but he won't respond. But he's not going to. My counselor, my therapist, she said that if I felt like I needed to confront him, do it. Text, letter, whatever. So I did reach out through text messages to confront him, but no response. We've never been friends on Facebook because I don't want to be his friend.
Yeah.
But I did message him and I let him know that this is how you turned me and made me feel because of what you did. But he doesn't respond. And
you've also written Donnie Jr.
I write Donnie Jr. every month. I missed December. I have been doing 3-4 a month. I missed all of December because my mind just wasn't in a good spot. But I've mailed him 2 so far this month.
I think one of you told me you basically told him everything.
Yeah, I have told him everything. And now I'm at the point of, this needs to stop. You're in trouble. There's no helping you. But you need to start talking about the things you know that you went through.
If Donnie Sr. is a narcissist, he likes that you're in pain. Do not engage him. There's no winning with him.
Mm-mm.
Turn your back and walk away. He thinks of you as an appliance. He will never think of you any other way. There is no recognition or anything, no feedback you will ever get from him. He may be a sociopath narcissist, which is even worse. So I would not recommend reaching out. Break free of that dynamic of even wanting something from him. It's a normal thing that you want it, but you will never get it. He's not capable of it, and he enjoys you turning on a hook, reaching out to him. I don't know what's cathartic for you any more than you know what would work for me. So I'm not trying to instruct you, but a narcissist is deadly, absolutely deadly, and a black hole. Don't reach out.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, they just see you as an appliance. You're just a thing.
Yeah.
You mean nothing to them.
I was telling my kids last night, I told you, that's what I feel like. That they just wind me up and play with me when they want to, and then they
Absolutely.
just
And you mean nothing.
yeah.
But
I've been a toy for people all my life, starting with Donnie Sr. He's the one that made me who I am
Yeah,
and what I do and what I go through.
he
He's
did.
the reason I let myself keep getting abused by men.
Yeah.
Because he fed me, because he loved me. He was supposed to take care of me. And that's what they say. I love you. I'm going to take care of you. He taught me that that's what I'm supposed to be with, the ones that use me. And it's okay because they say they love me. And he taught that to me.
He did.
As long as he tells me he loves me, then he can treat me however he wants because he loves me. It's love. That's not love. That's abuse. And I'm
It is.
47 years old and I'm just now figuring that out. And LeeAnn can tell you, I've been through some messed up relationships because they say they love me. And he taught it to 5.
This is hard to accept, but when you recognize what a narcissist is, he did do that. It's what they do. They love bomb you and you're perfect, and then they have no need for you because you're an appliance and they drop you like you're nothing. But if they need you again, they're back right there to love bomb you. It's what
Yes.
they do. You have no control over that. You will never have control over that. But you do have control over this. You're not going to continue to be vulnerable to them. So you have to
No.
accept there's no winning with them. There's no perfect argument with them. There's nothing you will say that will ever pierce his narcissism. It's not possible. Walk away. You just have to say, I can't resolve that. God in heaven will get him. You don't have to worry about that. That's what God in heaven is for. But here on earth, walk away. Seek joy somewhere else. But you really have to accept there's no resolution from him. And you're right. You're right about everything, how he used you. For sure. You're right. And God loves you. But sometimes we have to learn, walk away, run away. Don't just walk away, run away. And don't engage with him ever. Don't accept phone calls, anything. Don't engage. There's no resolution. You're an appliance. And he'll hurt you. Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you guys for coming on here again. I know it's tough for you, and hopefully this is some therapeutic for you as well to be able to talk about this and put it out in public, because it feels like, you know, you put some light on to the situation. It helps. And not only that, you could be helping somebody else that's listening to this, that somebody is going to see signs, maybe somebody in the church, somebody anywhere.
I've always known what my purpose in life was. And I think this is my purpose now that I'm talking about it, to save the others that are out there. My
Yeah.
story helps somebody. And I think that's my purpose.
And they're
I'm
out
not
there
trying-
because I see it every day. These people getting
I'm not
arrested.
trying to get this abuse all over the world. I just want the abuse in this particular family shut down. I want it to end. And I think that's my purpose, is to stop it. Because I'm pretty sure there's, like me and LeeAnn's talked about, this isn't just Donnie Sr. and Donnie Jr. There's others out there that was in like a little pack back before Monica died. I believe there were others that abused little Donnie as well. They were a tight Christian pack. And that's the stories we think is getting ready to lead to more arrests of some people like that. Not just the Birchfields, but the ones that ran in that circle in the 90s.
I do know that this investigation in South Carolina is moving north into
Yes.
Gaston County.
Yes.
Yes.
And I believe Gaston County law enforcement is looking into a lot of things. Hopefully, the statute
Yes.
of limitations on some of this stuff hasn't run out, but
That's what I said last night. There's statute of limitations on some things. Me and LeeAnn discussed this. And someone we know kind of has been out of their little pack for a while. So he may be safe. But there's others that are still running their crimes that we think this is a domino effect that's fixing to rock our whole family. Not just Junior and Senior, but our whole family.
well, we'll be covering it, and we'll help you through.
Anything like that, that's going to get me locked up.
What's
I think
that?
us four nieces are actually going to be, because we were the outcast, I think we're going to be the same ones that aren't going to get locked up because we haven't done anything.
Well, that's good.
But
All
other
right.
people, it's about to go down.
Wow.
Well, you have a
Well,
lot of courage coming on and talking about this. It's not easy.
No.
Something else, you could take all the drugs in the world, you could have all the therapy in the world. This does not go away. You have to
No.
live with it. You just have to live with it. With the grace of God, figure a way to live with it. Because it's not some, you turn the switch and it's all bright and sunny and didn't exist. No. And for you, you're right. It colored your entire life, for sure.
It did. Yes, it did.
Well, Jennifer and LeeAnn, thank you very much. We have Super Woke News with us on 97.7 WVFF, Veterans for Freedom Radio, Truth and Broadcasting Corporation. I am James Seidel, Crime and Cask Investigations. Check us out. All these stories that you've been hearing about are not only on our social media video, but also on our website at crimeandcast.com. It is deep, and we talked about the onion and pulling the onion back on this story, and it just makes you cry even more. And it's sad, but I think your words that you are here to stop this is powerful. And thank you for that. And Elaine, thanks for coming on. We appreciate it.